Hey, what up? It's your boy Dr. Tarramazz, T-Mazz Harris, and Moosa. Excuse. Let's go back. Hey, what up? It's your boy Dr. Tarramazz, T-Mazz Harris, and my boy Moosa.
What up? What
We
up? What
here.
up?
This is episode 1 of our new podcast, man. How's it feel?
It feel good, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
been a long time coming, but we here.
It's incredible. It's incredible to be able to, you know, take the knowledge and the experience that we have and put it out there to the world, and hopefully people can digest that, you know what I'm saying, and
Right.
take it and use it as they move forward in life. This is not only a podcast about entertainment. We focusing on all aspects of the culture,
Facts.
and a big part of the culture is how we think about the culture and how we think about life, how we behave, what we believe in, and the mental health aspect is what I'm really trying to say.
Right. Right.
So we really gonna be highlighting stuff like that. Man, talk to him, Moosa. Man, we here, bro. This
Man,
this
we
feels
here,
good.
man. Episode 1, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like he said, we're gonna be touching on all different type of topics, entertainment, social life, morals. Have a code value and a code of ethics. Um, we're gonna give you a lot of game and try to like grow with you, and learn from you as well as you learn from us. Um, we're gonna be talking about political views. We could talk about mental health. We're gonna be talking about, the way we came up in life, different ways, different things we had to go through, or the obstacles and choices you can, Man, I'm messing up. I'm messing
We
up
here.
a
No,
lot.
we here.
Yeah.
This is live. This is live. This is from the soul, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and this is how life goes. And like he said, man, we're gonna be talking about all aspects of life. We are a little bit older in the game, so we're gonna talk about. So we got some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? We got some experience. Um, so shout out to a couple people first and foremost. Want to shout out 1515. You know what I'm saying? We want to
Most
shout out.
importantly.
I want to shout out Needles and Threads for providing me with this T-shirt for this episode. You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
fact.
New album Harris Island by T-Mazz streaming right now on all platforms. Fully produced by my boy L Finger. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
We
you
out
got
here,
the
man.
whole L Fingers
Yeah.
production?
Yes, sir. We got it's a EP, 5
Uh-huh.
songs, and it's fully produced by L Fingers. There's some slappers on there, so y'all make sure y'all go stream that thing on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your music at. Um, but make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're trying to go up with this, you know what I'm saying? And we also doing it from a genuine place,
Facts.
because I have a passion about mental health, being a psychologist, having the background that I have. Not only am I a psychologist, I am an artist, obviously, and I'm also an author. I have a couple books out right now. One is called A Legendary Run, which is a memoir, and it's at Barnes and Noble. It's a memoir that's kind of focused on my life, focused on my process to becoming a psychologist, starting off as a
Right.
rapper, different mentorship that I've received throughout my life, and what we're doing right now to give back to
The
the young,
community, the
exactly, the
people,
community, youngsters coming up, and
everybody.
things like that. And then it's another book called My First Teachers. It's an ethnic children's book, and it's focused on a topic called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a skill that I encourage parents to teach their kids as young as possible.
Right.
Emotional intelligence basically is about being aware of our various emotions that we can experience and knowing what to do with those, right? And not shaming our emotions, not
Right.
judging our emotions, but being mindful of our emotions as we move through life. The younger you are and able to master some of these skills, the more resilient you expect it to be.
What type of skills?
Yep. So one was the emotional intelligence skill, and that is one that's in that book right there.
Uh-huh.
But we're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of other skills on this particular show. As we, kind of go into the next section of this show, next segment of this show, we want to go into a coping skill, right?
Right,
So, a big one that's huge in the field right now is called mindfulness.
Right.
Mindfulness is a skill that helps us ground ourselves to the current moment without being judgmental of the circumstances, and helps helps us be able to really breathe and process things that's going on, and
Right.
um, organize our attention and being able to pay attention to certain things in order of importance.
Yeah, that's crazy because we was just talking about that in the back, and I
Hmm.
was telling you I've never heard that. You know that even the name or the the word, excuse me, the word and the expression behind it. You know, and how deep it goes, and how it touches really everybody in the way of life, like in some way, shape, or form, it's touching you. And
Hmm.
I never heard of it. You get what I'm saying? And it's a big thing, especially in our community. Mental health. We need to really like put a, magnifying glass on it.
Real
And
talk.
talk about it more. We don't really talk about it as black men. You know what I'm saying? We just
Huge.
don't talk about it, and it needs to be a more common conversation instead of like a in the dark conversation where you too scared to open up and bring yourself to the forefront and express your feelings and emotions and because it's going to help us all grow to be better, and even just to understand and acknowledge that you just gave me on it. It gave me an understanding like, damn, sometimes you really could just breathe and take deep breaths and release and get an understanding and control of what you're going through in that moment, and understand sound and the vibration and the energy that come with it, and
Right.
it's crazy. I was tripping off that when we was just talking about that in the back.
Right. We was just talking about this concept mindfulness. And for the audience, mindfulness is a skill that was initially introduced through DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, which
Mm.
is evidence based practice that was normed on a borderline personality disorder population. And basically, what that means is it's a form of therapy,
Mm.
right? That was evidence to work on a particular group of people who are dealing with a particular set of symptoms. But since then, it has been adapted to general populations and adapted to all types of different populations. And so DBT is broken down into four different parts, four different components. So one of the components is called mindfulness, which is that ability to be mindful of what's happening to you without being judgmental of
Right.
your circumstance or situation. The second part of it is emotion regulation. Emotional regulation skills teach a person to regulate their emotions, regulate various levels of stress, and things like that. The third part is distress tolerance. So distress tolerance helps people tolerate various levels of stress without becoming without going into a crisis. And then the last one is interpersonal effectiveness skills. Let me say that again: interpersonal effectiveness skills. And those skills right there help teach how to deal with people, right? Help
Right.
teach interpersonal skills. So from communication to just kind of body language to all types of different things that's relevant in a social situation. So one that we'll be talking about on this channel is mindfulness. Mindfulness can be used in or can be practiced in various ways.
Right.
One quick example that we'll do for people who watching is we'll just do some just quick and simple breathing. So if you're at home and watching, I'd like for you to find a fixed point in your room on the wall or something, and stare at that fixed point in the room um, with a soft gaze. And if you feel comfortable enough, go ahead and close your eyes. So either close your eyes or stare at some fixed point in the room, and just begin to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take a few more breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you continue to breathe, try not to focus on what you're thinking about, what you're feeling. Simply focus on breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. As you continue to breathe, you may become distracted by something. That's fine. Just refocus your attention on your breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just observe your breathing. Next, I'd like you to continue to breathing. And as you breathe, solely focus on the thoughts that you're having without being judgmental of those thoughts. Observe the thoughts, acknowledge your thoughts, and allow each one to pass as you continue to breathe. In through your nose and out through your mouth. If you hear something or feel something and become distracted from thinking about what you're thinking about, simply focus back on your breathing and think about the thoughts that you're having without being judgmental of those, and just allow them to pass. Next, I want to invite you to continue breathing and focus on the emotions you're currently experiencing. Simply allow that emotion to exist, but identify that emotion and why you're feeling it as you continue to breathe. Again, if you get distracted, simply refocus your attention back on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take a few more seconds, then join us back here.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
that's a good
here.
exercise, though, dude.
Yeah,
For
mindfulness.
anybody at home, and any moment, anywhere, you don't gotta be in a certain spot or in a certain place.
Yeah.
They could find a point to pay attention to, even outdoors.
Exactly. Go somewhere that makes you feel comfortable. And the goal is like this. The exercise we just did is like in a controlled situation, right? The goal with mindfulness is to practice it as often as you can, so that it can benefit you as often as possible. So it's like a muscle. The more you use it, you get stronger at it.
And it's good for blood flow.
Facts.
That's a plus.
When you teach in mindfulness or just practicing mindfulness, the goal is to be able to use it in microseconds whenever you need it. If you notice yourself, needed to refocus or recenter yourself throughout your day, practice your mindfulness skills. And again, it's different ways to practice mindfulness. That was just one little example, but I encourage everybody who's checking this out, read up on that thing, mindfulness.
Man, go check it out, man. It's very important, man. Do your research. Not even that exercise, take that, and share that. Learn that. Even if you got to rewind the session and watch the podcast over again, you do that. It's going to be good for you. Not only that, inhaling and exhaling, that's good for blood flow. Blood flow give you life.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me.
That's
but
real talk.
Not only that, man, what made you get into the books? That's what I was trying to ask you in the back, but I'm like, man, I can't cram everything in at once. I got to leave something for the audience and the people.
Yeah.
So, cause I'm learning as well, and there's things that he's gonna give us, and there's things I'm gonna give you, and hopefully you take that, man, and use that as motivation and go forward with it. But yeah, man, break down the process, man. How you get into it with books, like the full process, man.
So for me, I decided to self-publish through Barnes & Noble. The reason why I chose Barnes & Noble was because they one of the last brick and mortar bookstores, pretty big, and they represented throughout the nation. And so again, I got 2 books that's at Barnes & Noble, and the benefit that you have from self-publishing with Barnes & Noble is you can coordinate in stores. So we've coordinated a Barnes & Noble book tour over the last year. So in 2023, we went to like 10 or 11 different dates between Northern and Southern California, and one in Henderson, Nevada. And just went into the store, set up tables, and set up our posters and flyers and stuff, and was able to connect with readers who came inside of the store. So it's a great way to go self-publishing with Barnes and Nobles. They have other options though. You can self-publish with Amazon and other different sites online.
All right. Not to cut you off, but before I'm ready to self-publish through Barnes and Noble, excuse me, or anything. All right, I'm here. I got this idea. I don't know the steps or the process because I never written a book, right? So if I got this idea in my head, how do I go through the process of putting it on paper? What if I'm not good at, writing it on paper or typing? How do I break that barrier?
I would say to just start doing it. Just start writing down ideas. A good place is to use your iPhone and then go to the notes section, or just go send yourself a text message, just the bullet points of the different ideas that you have. And I think the more that you create ideas, it'll start to create a theme, right? And from there, you can start to organize sentences. But a book cannot get written on its own. So the first thing that you got to do is to start putting the pen to the paper,
right,
or start typing those ideas out. Don't even worry about punctuation, grammar, nothing like that, because you can hire somebody to edit it for you. You can look up lovecloudrestore.com. That's my website. We edit books, and we help with publishing and stuff like that too. So, but there's hella other ones too out there that'll charge you a certain fee to take all your ideas,
right,
and they'll put those into sentences that make sense, and they'll send it to you, send a draft to you that you can read over and approve, kick it back, and have them re-edit it
right,
to your likings. Or you can do it yourself. I encourage a person to put as much personal effort into their final product,
right,
because that's yours. That's your
so,
baby.
Yeah, it's more of a
Because if you don't want to write it
yourself,
if you don't really want to write it, you probably not gonna want to read the whole thing either. So if you don't read the whole thing, you don't know exactly like what that editor changed around, or because I know a lot of people who skim through a book. You know what I mean? So just write it so that you will want to read it. That's my theory on it.
The book I was talking about back there that I couldn't get the name of was Superior Ways of a Man.
Okay.
That
does ring a bell right there.
That's the book.
Tell us about that book right there.
Well, I can't tell you yet. I'm gonna start.
You're reading it. You're about to read that one. Okay.
But that's the name. I couldn't get it out of off my mind. I'm like, man, what was the name?
Okay.
And it just came to me at a crazy time.
And that's another thing that we're gonna do on this channel. We're gonna review books like local authors. We'll bring them in, interview them. We'll also review materials too. So make sure you send your material or request to the email address at the bottom of the screen.
That's a fact.
And hit our DM up, and we'll bring you on the show,
man.
We're
have
gonna
no
look at y'all
problem
stuff
with
and
reviewing
check y'all
your
out.
material,
It's
checking
crazy
it out.
So many people find ways to monetize stuff like this, right? And we all want to get paid. That's a fact right there. We definitely want to get paid. I also want to grow too. I want to help people grow, help the community
That's the most
grow
important
at the same
thing.
time.
Yeah.
I want to all the professional and educational experiences and just regular life experiences that I have, I want to use to allow others to learn from and grow from, if possible, right? Starting with my kids, right? And then anybody else who follow me online or just check out the content that we put out there. This podcast is going to be focused on passing on that legacy and helping people grow. You know what I mean? So you can expect to have some content in here that's going to help you in some kind of nurturing way. All right. So that's something to expect from this podcast right here.
Nah, that's good to touch on that because a lot of people do go the wrong route, for that. And if they understand what you're getting, it's not a surprise to you. So you already know what you're coming for. Hey, we're going to hit you with this. We're going to give you this. If you got something going on, please share it with us. We'll review it, take care of it, make sure you get your feedback right. You get what I'm saying? If we need to bring you in, sit down and talk to you, because we got to build with each other and still sharpen steel. You know what I'm saying? And it's time to just give access to each other so that we can help build each other.
Right. Just like you were saying earlier, like in our community, we don't seek these services until something happens.
Nah, we don't. Like
We
there's
don't
a
do
lot
preventative
nah.
measures. We just do crisis.
Yeah, we put a
situations.
bandage
We
on
wait till
it.
crisis happens.
Yeah,
right?
we put a bandage on everything.
Yeah,
you
we
know,
want to
we
teach
really
our
don't.
youngsters to be able to have certain skills and develop a certain structure in your life so that you don't have to wait till a crisis occurs
To be
know
prepared.
what to do.
Yeah,
To be prepared.
To be
exactly.
prepared. You know, and because we way better than what it is. You
That's
get
right.
what I'm saying? So
That's
now
right.
we've been off course a lot. You know, now it's time to get on course and just be able to give what we really understand and know life to be. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And prepare you for those situations that come, and maybe you might have something that I might need.
Right.
You know, you never know, you know?
Right.
But
So
if it ain't on the table, then the discussion never happens.
that's a fact. This is something I wanted to ask you right here, Moosa. So, you know, being the professional that you are, at what point in your life did you recognize that I need to go this direction and start doing things this way to get to where I want to be?
My family, my own family, you know?
Okay.
Because you never get it right, like immediately. Like a lot of people would be like, "Oh man, you 30 years old. You should know this or know that." That ain't the case sometimes for people. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, you know, you just don't know what you know now. You don't know then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I could tell the person I am now to go, like, you know, if I could tell the person I am now, could tell the person I was 10, 15 years ago, I'd tell them, you tripping, go this way, you know.
Right.
This way is totally different from that way. That way ain't gonna get you nowhere. You're gonna lose time, you're gonna lose memories, you're gonna lose things that's a value that you really don't value because you don't have no sense to value that. You wasn't taught that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm learning how to be a husband with my wife because I've never seen a real picture of a husband.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? I've never
Wow.
woken up in the same house as my father, but I wake up in the same house as my kids every day.
Right.
I wasn't taught that. It was just in me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So once I just start understanding the value of family and the value of what I wake up to, that's when I really start, like, I'm not playing. Let me go this way. You know? And once I understood that, you know, for myself, that's what really made me like, hey, you know what? I give up on this. I need this. You get what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing like being at home with your kids and coming home from work or, you know, you know?
And even like, and I love that response too, because even if you didn't have a father growing up directly in the household, you know that your children needed that.
Me, yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
And so that's motivation in itself. And that's something that listeners also can take from this right there, is to know that, like, even if you didn't have something growing up, let that be your motivation to go get that.
Don't let that be your downfall, to be like, well, I didn't have it, so I don't. You know, you didn't have it, so you know what it's like not having it.
Exactly. So go have it.
You get what I'm saying? Give that. Yeah.
But what going to go get it and having it comes having to come up with a plan, having to, you know, structure your life, structure your schedule, and do things in a systematic way versus just, you know, kind of being all over the place with it.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's a different life. That's how life hits you, you know, and you wind up on your ass. You get what I'm saying? Because you really moving so fast, you can't see what's coming.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You have no discernment for what's in front of you or who's around you or the people you putting yourself around or the cars you jumping in. You just going. You know what I'm saying? And by the time it hits you, it's either dead, jail, accident. It's something of a sense to where now, like, man, you sat back, you got to regroup and figure it out.
What about these youngsters? Like when I asked not my particular youngster, but I asked a teenager in general what they want to be when they grow up. They know they want to rap. Right? They want to rap, or they want to get some money off YouTube or something like that. Right. So how do they develop structure and come up with a plan to try and pursue that? Like, if that's all that you know that you want to do right now, like, how do you go from being a teenager on your mama's couch to trying to pursue, knowing that the only goal that I really have is either
well, you
rap
don't
or
have to
YouTube?
get off the couch to get on YouTube. All you got to do is pull a chair up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now the access is totally different from when we was coming up with computers.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? The social media platforms. Kids nowadays is telling me what I'm not. You get what I'm not doing.
Right.
I'm considered slow dragging in this YouTube world.
Okay. Where I want to take this conversation right here is like, okay, so parents have to stay involved in their kids' life, right?
Of course.
Well after they turn 18. So if you got a child in that kind of situation, yes, you can rap. Yes, you can pursue YouTube and things like that. But
right.
Just rapping and just pursuing YouTube does not help you develop no structure as a young man.
No, it
doesn't.
don't.
YouTube encourages you to sit at home, just sit in front of the microphone. It doesn't even encourage you to shower all the time. Just be presentable for a camera and say what you got to say, right? And do that repetitively, right? And rapping, we know what rapping does. Although you can't make a lot of money from these things. My point is this right here. Encouraging your children to go to college, go to school, and get jobs, develop their own businesses, right? Get certain credentials to put themselves in a position.
Anything.
A trade, put themselves in a position to where they can get that job later on. That teaches you that you got to get up at a certain time.
No,
right?
that's a fact.
You gotta go in presentable, right? You gotta be able to talk a particular way, right? You can't just operate off of what you see on YouTube or how your friends talk or
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, I hope that's making sense for people that's listening. Like, structure and stability is huge as you move into adulthood,
and it's worth everything you could put on it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Get you a little trade or some kind of job. Yes, you can be a rapper. Yes, you can do YouTube,
but you can have something as well on the. You could really be working. Like when I was pursuing rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was doing solar, still doing solar, but I already understood as an artist because I seen so many rappers in bad deals.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? See, I start getting to want to know the business and why. I used to be out and see certain artists and like they look bad. Like, damn, man, you had this, and it just shook me. So I would go do my research and understand like, damn, a lot of music artists is on the bad side of business because now here you are, you doing what you love passionately. You have no income coming in. So
That's
now,
wild.
as a record label, I could bring any deal, but with 50,000 worth of hundreds in your face. You get what I'm saying? And you got nothing going for yourself. You're gonna take that. You're gonna sign your life away like it's constantly. It's happening to this day. It's been happening before our time. You get what I'm saying? So when I was pursuing, I already knew like let me provide, pay for everything. Let me go to work though. Let me find a trade. Even though I didn't go to college, I had to find a trade. Mm-hmm. And that those are things that's very important for parents to push on their kids. To go to school, get an education, learn trade. It's the reason why they took trades out of high schools for us to be able to provide for our families. It's a reason why. So if we understand those things and we know to be able to give a long lasting life. Wow. Of consistency.
Let me ask you this. You hit on a bunch of different points, man.
Nah, but go ahead.
I want to ask you this. How easy is it to make 50 bands with a regular job?
See,
just starting with that example of 50 bands you talked about, right?
You're going to work, but it's going to come.
It's going to come.
But it's going to constantly come. You get what I'm saying? Okay. See, so think about it.
What risks do you face going to work a regular job?
I mean, versus being on the block, like, we running. Mm-hmm. I'm hiding my work in trash on the street. Mm-hmm. We taking turns. Some days might be slower than the other. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? My quality product ain't about what's in my customer's pocket. So what comes to me is based on everybody else. You get what I'm saying? My money is based off of if you got the money to provide your high.
So as you compare that to a regular job,
It's no comparison because on this regular job, I've been working 7 years straight, same job, right? Same company. So I've never had to look over my shoulders.
talk to him,
I
Moosa.
know exactly.
Talk to
I
him.
know I'm getting my money on a constant basis. I know this is gonna build up and take care of my family. I know I could move this money and put it in different places to where it provides for my family and it doesn't hinder my family, right? Like I ain't finna be sitting in no jail for this. And on top of that, it's constant. I'm not going to jail for 6 months, then coming back trying to get my sack back right, then taking another loss, or I gotta flush the work because they raiding the spot. I went through all that. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going through none of these hiccups. I'm not going through almost, getting into it with niggas, you know what I'm saying? Or shootings, bullets
Right.
really don't have no name.
Facts. Anybody can get hit for that.
So
bullet.
like the way of a house, going to work versus being out there in the streets is no way it's no way to scale tips.
It seems
on
a
the
lot
same
safer.
level.
It seems a lot safer.
It's way safer.
Yeah. Okay.
Being
okay.
tough
Mhm.
could put you in the wrong life
Yes.
of trouble,
yes.
right?
Well, you can't even post where you're at. Like that's crazy to me. That you
you know,
can't post like where
you
at.
can't
The type
pump
of shit
gas.
that people own these
You
days.
can't pump gas. You
you're
can't
right.
go get a
Right.
burger. Like if you love this burger spot in this neighborhood, you really can't go there.
Wow. That's really wild right there.
What a
so
life
you don't
to
wanna live
live,
that
huh?
lifestyle. And all right, so one word of encouragement for a young man who's 16 want to rap or make money off YouTube. One word. Not even one word, but one piece of
All right,
encouraging.
if you really want to do it, let me tell you this. Get on YouTube. Do your research.
Yeah.
Learn about the algorithm. Learn about publishing. Learn about the things you need to have to be able to turn it into a profession. You get what I'm saying? Spend your time on it. Do it. Go hard at it. If you really on there and you really trying to do it, and this is all you believe in, and that's all you got going, go for it. Put your all in it. You get what I'm saying? But you
Like
have
that.
to really know it takes time.
It
To
do.
build anything, it takes time.
Right, ain't nothing gonna happen overnight.
You-
And going back to that 50 bands question, you can make 50 bands at a regular job within 1 year.
Oh yeah, for sure. With no
Nice.
problem.
You can make a quick.
You
50
can make
bands in a
way
year.
more than 50
You can make
bands.
exact more than that.
I never made the money I'm making, from the job I'm working on the block. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the one thing about the 50 bands, if you know how to do it, you go take up certificates and do different classes and you level at 50K up. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's always a way to advance in the workspace.
Exactly.
And if they won't pay you what you worth, you get what I'm saying? Create your own company.
That's crazy. I like that. I like playing on this 50K thing. What you would do with 50K right now?
50K right
just
now?
fell on your floor. What would you do right now?
50K right now?
Right now.
Right now?
What you doing with 50K, Moosa?
And paying attention to the way life is life right now, I'll go get like a duplex.
That's a good look right
50K
there.
right
That's a
now,
good- that's a
I
look.
need to collect
That's a look.
because I'm looking for long-term paper, right? And what I'm learning, I didn't know before.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So 50K, yeah. Let me go get some. Let me go get some property
Excellent. Excellent.
because it's gonna constantly.
Because
pay
you're gonna
me.
make some money off that. You're gonna make
Mhm.
more than 50K off
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Okay, what I'm doing with 50K, I want to invest it into either a tow truck company or because what you can because it's
Especially
so
in
raw.
Vegas.
Because you're gonna tear their ass up. My sister-in-law got her car towed last night. It was
Yeah.
300, and it's just like that in Cali.
Yeah.
So you're gonna tear their ass up with the especially if you got a tow yard too.
Oh
because
yeah,
you can get
killing them.
you can get the highway patrol contracts,
Yeah.
right? And cars that they pull over, you can tow them for them and impound it at your lot, and they got to pay you per night, and then you
Literally, they
pay the
sit
little
they
sheriff
car,
and them they
yeah.
little piece, but you keep the rest, and you can get little contracts to go around these little streets for people who overparked or not parked right, snatch they shit,
Nah,
and you can
that's this bullshit. He been thinking about this for a
for
minute.
real, and you can run.
He too in sync about
You
that.
can run liens on
Yeah.
cars that been there for
Yeah,
more than
see,
30 days.
He know too much
Look,
about
a
this.
nigga ain't got no license. His Bentley get taken. That's my Bentley in 30 days.
Yeah, for real.
And you can in Nevada, you can't just change registration like that.
Nah.
And give it to, and you
It
gotta
don't
do
work
all
like
kind
that.
of shit. So it's
Yeah.
the perfect place to get a little tow truck company. I also
Hey, bro,
noticed
that's
we should probably we should-
yeah,
yeah.
we
Mhm.
yeah,
it's
we
gonna
will.
take a couple little certifications, but I don't think it's too much. I think it's just a license to operate a tow truck. If we got a little dirt lot to put a fence around, that's our.
I mean, yeah,
that's our
you
lot
know,
to
as
put
long
the
as
cars.
you got the paperwork right, your shit is in order.
Yeah.
They can't stop you.
I think it's some bread in that right there. We're gonna look at- we're
I'm
gonna
with
look
you
Friday.
on that. You got me wanting to say, fuck them
Yeah.
duplexes. I need it too, cause I'm thinking, man.
50
you-
bands.
Think about how many. You got to think about how many accidents I see, and I'm working all over Vegas. You get what I'm saying? Even in the new areas that they building.
Do you
you
know
know?
how much insurance is out here?
Man, it's ridiculous.
This is the highest in the nation.
Yeah,
The
it's
highest
ridiculous.
in the nation. I learned that after I moved
And
out
don't
here.
miss
That's
a
crazy.
payment.
Oh,
get,
right. You gonna have
they
to pay
got-
the little fees.
Yeah,
and-
the fee.
Oh, that's
they gonna tear
crazy.
your ass
That's
up out
crazy.
here.
So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna talk about the game that I learned because I don't know who's gonna be listening, but we'll talk off camera about this last little piece. But anyway,
yeah, but
50 bands,
that's-
man. We need it.
what would you do with 50K? If 50K just fell in your pocket,
Comment
man,
right now.
what type
would
of
you do with
plans
50
do
bands?
you got? You know what I'm saying? With that 50K, what would you really do? Would you fix your credit? Would you go fuck it off? Would you go
Mm-hmm.
buy you a track hawk or something? You know, what would you do with it?
Right.
Let us know, man. I really want to know. T
Right.
already had his
I'm-
plan
hey,
full.
hey.
It was too in sync.
We need some investors on that idea too. So if you want to
That's
link
a-
up, come
that's
on,
a
tap
good
in,
investment,
Come
man.
on, tap in.
Reason being, man, it's always accidents in Vegas, and it's at
Yeah.
the craziest spots. It be at the craziest spots. Like, how did they have an accident right there? You know what I'm saying? But it's like all day.
Man,
I
just
see
driving
accidents
around,
all
you see,
day.
Yeah, you just
You
people
see
don't
them all
care.
day, man.
And another thing is like it's a lot of drinking and driving going on.
Facts.
And, a lot of
Facts.
it's a party town. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
So, but on
you
some
got
other
my
shit.
mind racing on that.
some other shit.
On that
While we
toe
talking
out.
about money, y'all want to talk? Y'all want to talk about getting some real money? Let's talk about making $1 million. How can I make $1 million right now? This is an idea because I've a
We all
class
want
that
to
I
know,
teach.
chat.
Yeah, how
Tell
can I
them
make
we
it?
want to know.
Drop it in the chat right now. How can you make $1 million right now if you know? This is an idea that I got right here. Not even an idea, but this is what people of people who ain't on Instagram, this is what they be doing. Every 4 years, every county publishes a community health needs assessment. In that community health needs assessment, it consists of research that was done over the last 4 years of the major health issues in our community. So Vegas has one, San Francisco has one, Oakland has one. Every major county has a community health needs assessment. And you can read this. You can just Google your county and in parentheses put community health needs assessment. This is going to pop up and you can read what they have identified and researched to be the top needs in our county impacting health and wellness. Typically, it's around homelessness, substance use, guns or something like that. It varies. It varies. Violence prevention, stuff like that. So those factors that's identified on that needs assessment influences federal, state, and local grant dollars. So a lot of the money that the federal government is offering and that the state is offering and that these local agencies is offering, what makes your grant proposal stand out from the next is if you are writing grant proposals that cater to the current needs identified in the most recent community health needs assessment. Because these are the top things that's impacting our community.
And so if you attack those top things,
attacking those top things in a well-organized grant proposal, you just
so you would
made
have to
yourself
have
qualified for $1 million federal grant.
federal grant, but
right
you would
there.
have to have a nonprofit for that, right?
Yep. So a lot of them require nonprofit. Some of them require 501c3s. Some of them require LLCs. It just depends. Like when you're doing when you're doing grant writing, you want to look at the actual grant outline, and in that outline, it's going to have a description, and it's going to have all the qualifying factors, the things that they're looking for in a person that they're going to award the money to. Right. And you want to just write your proposal to cater to every single one of those bullet points
And
in a
that's how
well-organized thing
yeah.
that makes sense. That's, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, what I'm saying here is programs that people who are looking to develop programs.
Yeah,
right?
nonprofits is what
Try not to just develop a program just out of your head that's just about the most randomest thing.
really do your
But
research.
it can be out of your head,
Yeah.
but tailor it to these needs that
Right.
the community has identified as the top needs that we have for the next 4 years. Then you can go and look for some of that free grant money that they got out there with these millions of dollars that they're giving out to address these needs that the community has identified. And
That's
they have
free
money
game.
allocated to each state.
That's free game.
Every state got certain millions and millions of dollars allocated to it, but it ain't people like us that's writing those grants. You think it is? You think it is, Moosa?
No, I know it ain't.
Hey, comment in the chat if you think it's people who look like us writing them grants.
I know it ain't. Because
Alright.
I'm just now hearing about this, right? So I know it ain't. One thing about us is if it's some information that we obtain, it's going to be out there.
So that's what this podcast right here is going to be about.
For
Getting
sure.
the game and giving that game out there. A lot of people,
sure.
I mean, historically, a lot of people haven't capitalized on stuff like this. So, you know, if one person can get them $1 million,
I haven't even
tap
chat.
on in, man.
I'm
If you want to
for
work,
sure have him break it down to me offline. Believe you me, man.
and if there's anybody out there that, you know, is into this kind of stuff and want to work, make sure you hit our contact information at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? We building a squad, man. We building a nation, man.
That's
you know
a
what
fact.
I'm saying? Of eager people who like-minded, who want to move in this different direction, who want to change the narrative. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
50 bands. What you gonna do with that?
That's a fact. That's a crazy line right there, man.
I don't know. I keep saying that too. Hey, 50 bands. Now we just got finished talking about a milli though, so we off that 50 bands. We back on a milli now. Man.
Nah.
How we
gotta
gonna get
touch
this
everything.
bread? How we gonna get this bread?
That's
All
a
right?
fact.
But all right, looking at the game right now, we want to say rest in peace to rich homie Quan, man. It's crazy, man, just hearing about that whole situation.
For sure, man.
You know, any thoughts on that, man?
Man, that's a crazy situation. Much respect and love to his family, you know,
For
his
real.
kids.
Yeah.
I listened to the 911 call because I just get tired of his girlfriend made the 911 call.
Yeah, I heard that.
I just get tired of hearing our people is always dying.
Right.
You get tired of that, you know, and no matter where you go, no matter where you run, you can't never escape that. You know, some way, somehow, it's a device out there in every form to attach to us and take us down.
Right.
And I hate that, you know, people play with their lives and it's like Russian roulette when it comes to, you know, popping these pills, the fentanyl. Like, you know, I've never understood it and never seen the shit that you see today.
Yeah.
I grew up with crack.
Yep.
You know, even crackheads, they was totally different from how these users is, you know, these drugs do people. They totally different from how crack had people back in the day.
Things have definitely changed, man. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate circumstance, and I think some of the root messages and some of the stuff that's happening similar to this Quan situation is that we have a generation that's using substances to numb pain that they're dealing with, right?
That's a fact.
Introducing something else to your body to deal with the raw emotions or the raw
that you scared to
feelings
face
or thoughts that you having,
Yeah.
right? That shit is tough to deal with, and that speaks to the power of our thoughts and our beliefs and our feelings and how we act on it.
But that's just like a lot of things can be solved with communication. Just the support of communication with another can do a whole lot. You get what I'm saying? And look at what it does. It's suppressed because having communication or having any type of dialogue with the man in the hood is like, you know, you tucking your it's like a sense of being deprived. Like if I could come to you as a man and talk to you about how I'm feeling. You give me and you give me some real game about what I'm going through. You get what I'm saying? But in reality, you're gonna go tell somebody, oh yeah, you know, Moosa just told me you know, you going through this, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's important.
You
And
get
that
what I mean?
fear causes people to not take
it's-
the whole shit in.
So, cause I used to, man, listen, you either you a wolf or you a sheep, right? So I'm not finna tell you nothing. I didn't learn that into being it, cause I never had a real relationship even with a woman to my wife. So to know what a real woman wanted and offered, I had to go through that to learn that. Like, damn, I can't be like that.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? Because even that, something so simple can bring you down. It'll tear you down.
Real talk.
And we really just suppress those things. And that's what sucks about reality.
Right. And that speaks to like the shame and the stigma around seeking mental health treatment in
Right.
our black communities.
And it shouldn't
It's
be like
it's,
that.
It's frowned upon, and it's something that we got to get rid of, right? We got to teach these youngsters growing up, ourselves as well, that it's okay to go and seek help.
Facts.
They call that help-seeking behaviors, like being
Please
able to
go
say,
seek
I need
help.
That-
Please.
Like that's a talent, that's a strength to be able
Yeah.
to say I need help, because sometimes we can't do it all on our own. So you know, if you find yourself in a situation where you need help, make sure you hit that link at the bottom of the screen. We got some we're gonna have some emergency phone numbers. You know,
Make sure you tap in, man. Anything you looking for, and if it ain't even on the screen at the bottom, and you seeking help or you need some information on anything, you can always DM us. You can always reach out to us. We'll definitely speak to you and reach right back out to you. You get what I'm saying? Just know, like, that shit's over. You know, hiding it and not being able to speak, you know, to anybody about how you feel and letting your emotions be respected, that's over. You don't got to hide that. It's okay to, you know, get out there and get information to get help for yourself, you know?
That's a fact. And you're going to want to reach out to your primary care provider. That's what I meant to say. You know what I'm saying? Just like you go and get a regular physical exam every year, you can get a mental health exam every year.
That's
and that's
crazy.
a part of your medical insurance,
And
too.
I didn't know that.
So, exactly. So
He told me that. I didn't know that, chat. He told me that.
That's something
That's
that you
crazy.
can take advantage of through your regular medical insurance that you pay for. And even if you don't have the top tier insurance, even if you have like county insurance, like Medicaid, I believe they call it out here. In California, they call it Medi-Cal. Even if you got like Medi-Cal, you can actually go to a community health agency and get therapy. So, you know, take advantage of those services, especially if you're paying for them.
And you was telling me you could pick your own
you can pick your own
doctor.
doctors. You can see the different options that they have. I encourage you to just meet with who they pair you up with, because sometimes we need to learn more interpersonal skills to get comfortable with sharing some personal stuff with people who don't share cultural intersections with us. I think it's a talent to be able to open up to somebody who don't look like you or haven't experienced something like you. Although a lot of people feel most comfortable when they're meeting with or talking to somebody who shares a cultural intersection with them. Like I would prefer to have a black psychologist. Of course I would, right? But it also is something to strive toward, to be able to, you know, have open and honest conversations with somebody who don't look like you, right? Especially if you feel something genuine with them.
Right. That is true.
So because if you're somebody that says, I don't feel anything genuine with all Asian people, that's probably you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
a
probably
fact.
you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
it's
don't feel I can't genuinely talk to all white women. That's probably you. Though,
like
you know
I
what
was
I'm saying?
telling you before, you can't change energy. So you could feel a person energy. It's not based on race. It's not based on what
Yep.
they've been through in life. It's just based off of the goodness of them. You can't change that, right? So anybody that you feel comfortable with, do that, man. And it
Yep.
should be any race, any background that you feel comfortable and you can open up to. You shouldn't be thinking like, oh, I gotta go to my own to, feel comfortable and provide a conversation with somebody that look like me.
Facts. We here, man. Hey, it's been a great podcast, man. A great
Yes,
hour,
sir.
man. We've been up in here rocking.
Yes, sir.
How does
It's
feel
the
to you?
first one, man. I'm liking it. I'm getting comfortable. I like where it's going. I like the conversation fullness. It's like, giving real goodness to people that they could really go get some information off of, or they could take what we talk about and learn from it and grab it and go run. You gave game about, how to get some money. What would you do with 50K?
Wow.
That might be sitting in somebody's head
Yeah.
all week.
And our podcast is gonna be based off of information that you're gonna probably need a pen and a paper to come back to at some point,
That's
right?
a fact.
And write that down, man, and go do something with that.
Yeah.
And see what the outcome of that
I like
is.
that though, cause it make them more in tune. Like it make you not just listen to gossip.
Right.
It makes you like, oh, I could really be doing. Oh, I could get information for this.
Exactly.
Or I was feeling that way, man. Damn, I didn't even know that. Like I was telling you, I didn't even understand those terms or even heard of them. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you have a way to take deep breaths and exhale and inhale and be able to control your thoughts and control, what you see and feel at that moment, and you got to exercise and you can get good at it and learn it, like people can run to it and get that information. You get what I mean?
That's a fact, bro. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is gonna be really exciting. So I look forward to next week's episode. I plan to have a discussion about the quickest way to get a bachelor's degree, and we'll talk about things that you can do step
That's
by
dope.
step, starting off from graduating high school or even
That's
getting
dope.
a GED. And we'll talk about the fastest way you can get a bachelor's degree. And we even talk about the importance of a bachelor's degree to the whole educational journey. So, yeah, man, we look forward to next week's episode. What we want y'all to do, too, is comment, like, topics that you would like us to do research on and talk to y'all about.
Facts.
And we're definitely willing to put the research in and come back and holler about what we found.
And give it to y'all.
Mhm.
Bring it directly to y'all with the utmost. And it's always love from us to you guys. You guys stay blessed out there. Stay positive. Keep your eyes open and go hard.
Let's get it.